Okay guys, this is Larry and I'm here, we're getting ready to start a new project with the SuperLoom. I'm running double all the way down here. And this is ultimately going to be the first panel for the Rainbow Loom skirt. Now, when we talk about a skirt, let me tell you what I'm doing. My thought process behind it is that I want it to be wearable. So I went with a base. I had a vision in mind how I wanted to do it. And I went around to some stores until I found a skirt that was made of leather. Because leather is a heavy-duty material and it's very heavy. So because of the weight factor that's involved, I knew it would stand up to the rubber bands being hung from it. The other thing I wanted is that it needed to have a slip underneath. So that way, when it's worn and you walk, the rubber bands aren't going to inch up your leg and expose you basically. So the slip will keep it there. So I found this particular skirt, and it's got this nice little V pattern on it. And actually, what I've done is I've gone in and I've removed the seams out of everything, because interestingly enough, it's a flap. So there's a flap under here with that's got the slip sewn to it, and then the flap on here. So when it's all said and done to go together, I'm going to stitch right along there to put it together. So, and then I'm left with just one piece of leather that's completely removed, and I have the slip in the skirt part. I got the buttons in the zipper in the back, and everything's still in one piece. So all I have to do is hand sew the rubber bands on to the slip based on the size of the piece of leather that I just removed. So that's what the good thing about the SuperLoom is now I have an exact measurement of the piece of leather that I want, and it's going to be done on the SuperLoom. So I'll get back with you. Okay guys, so 3 hours later, I have a little over 25% of the vertical bands down, which is about 6,000 bands right there. To put it in perspective, there's my hand. And my hand is by no means small. So you figure there's 1, 2, I don't know, 60 looms across here. Let me see, 1, 2, no wait, not 60, 20 something. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, who knows? 28 looms, 25 looms, something like that. So we got part of the way down. So I do this part up here standing, then I'm going to do this part down here sitting. So I'll get back with you when we're halfway there, and then you'll be able to see the vertical and it's halfway done. Okay, so we're about 6 hours into it, and I got half of the vertical bands, and well, maybe not quite half. Well, I don't know. That's probably about half. And there's about 7,000, 7,500 bands there. And again, just to give you a scale of it, there's my hand. That's a lot of rubber bands. So we'll keep going, and you'll soon find out how many it takes. So we got the vertical bands placed. There's 14,214 of them, and it took me 20 hours to get them all. So you can see the detail. There's a ton of them. So the next part of this project, I'll be placing the horizontal bands, and there'll be one band across every 4 pieces, and it's going to go all the way across. Once that's finished, then I'll start looping everything together. So we'll figure that one panel on here is probably going to take me, maybe 40 hours. So a lot of work, but wait till you see what it makes, guys. You're going to love it. And you're watching this video, you already know what it's going to make. So stay tuned, and we'll come back, when I got all the vertical bands placed. Alrighty. So look
at the rainbow.
I got a quarter, well, I'm working on a quarter of hooking the bands.
Of the bottom.
I got the cross bands up there, and for the bands is 17,802. So you can kind of see where I've crossed them. There's Morgan spinning on the chair.
Whee!
So I'll get back to work and I'll be back with you here when I get probably the bottom row done. I'm going halfway up and then I'll go the rest of the way probably later on tomorrow. Alright guys, just finished for the night, but it's halfway hooked. I got the bottom section, so we're moving fast, up to the midpoint, just there, and I got the rest of that to hook tomorrow. But my hand is pretty spent, because I just hooked, 8,000 bands going along this way, and I am flat worn out. Nice shot of them over there, but I will get back with you tomorrow. Alright, so it's all loomed. Took just under 50 hours. But we're probably going to say about 50 hours because it's taken me a while to unpeel it. And that's what I'm working on right now. As you see, slowly coming off. So I'll get it all peeled off and I'll show you the final sheet for part 1. But it's coming along. So I'll get back with you guys soon. Okay guys, so I got the next set of vertical bands. I only needed it to there because I figured out how much length I got out of the first piece, so I don't need that piece anymore. So I only need this much as far as the length, and this is all the vertical bands. I'm going to start the cross bands, loom it up, and then head on to part 3. So thanks for sticking with me guys. It's been a long project. This is our 3rd week now of we're well over 100 hours into this thing. And we got plenty more to go, so hopefully we'll have it done this Labor Day weekend. So I'll get back with you. Okay guys, so here's part 2. All the bands are on. I'm starting to loom it up, but for the waistband, since I don't want to sew directly into the bands, because you need the bands to kind of support the weight of everything, and it'll be hard to do that if you have little individual threads. So what I'm doing is I'm stitching a piece of 550 paracord on the end, and then ultimately that 550 cord is what will be sewn into the skirt. So the weight will be distributed across this 550 cord, which will hold 550 pounds, instead of each row of bands. So it'll support it quite nicely. So, and it'll also be hidden out of view, so you'll never even see it. So I'll get back with you soon. Okay guys, so it's finished up. The smaller piece here, I've got the bottom piece of the rope attached in there for to hang it, and I've started to take it off. I go 2 rows at a time, because any more than that and the cross bands will break. So I'll get removing it, and then we'll get on to the next step here in a few. So about 30 minutes later, and that's how far I am. I have to move it down 2 rows at a time, otherwise the bands get too stretched on each other and they want to snap. So you don't want it snapping at this point because you've gotten all this work into it. So a little bit at a time. So I'll get back with you. Hey guys, so I've finally gotten out of the garage here, and this is how I'm going to tie the 2 pieces together. I'm going to use the triple starburst, which you can find on my channel, how to make it. But basically what I'm going to do now is each little row of bands is going to be on 1 peg. So I'm going to take this off and hook it on there, go all the way down with those, and then the other piece is going to go on the other side, and that's how I'm going to stitch the 2 pieces together. So it'll have a triple starburst across the center. So I'm going to get moving on it, and I'll get back with you. Okay everyone, so here's the final product. This is the Rainbow Loom skirt made out of about 32,000 rubber bands. A leather upper that was actually stitched into, the dress was pulled away. So this actually folds down to cover up the attachments up there. It's a full-length skirt. I originally thought it was going to be a mini skirt, but, I don't wear women's clothes, so I don't know. So, here we go. And then basically the back is stitched up the middle where you can't even tell, but that's actually the stitch point right there. I just got to clip that band over and it's done. It'll get sent off tomorrow. This is actually going to Fen, which is Choon's wife at Rainbow Loom. It was made for her, and you may see her wearing it soon. So there you go, guys. The first Super Rainbow Loom project completed in this skirt right here. It's got a slip underneath, so you'll be comfortable with the bands not rubbing on your legs. So there you go. About 32,000. I lost track at like 31,842. That was before I made the starburst. So figure, I don't know. Who knows? We'll just say about 31,000. So there you go, guys. And that's it. And we'll get back with you on the next one.